several people asked me to show how I set up my notebook, so I'm going to do that today. So if you'd like to see that, then keep watching. Alright, so I have a Leuchtturm 1917 soft cover book, and I'm going to set it up so that I can use it to start researching some health-ish related things. They're not really issues, they're just health related. And I figured I would show you kind of how I set it up. It's very basic. Let's just get rid of that. Okay. It's very basic. It's not anything new, I'm sure, although back when I was in high school, me and my friends thought we were just the coolest, and come to find out we probably didn't even invent it, but my friends and I thought we did, but I don't think so. Anyway, so with the Leuchtturm, it has a table of contents, and the pages are numbered, and I don't really use the numbered pages, but they can be used. I'm going to color code using my zebra midliners, and I'm going to use my Pilot Falcon to write with. This has Old Man Winter ink in it, so you'll be able to see that again if in case you were wondering what it looks like. But so basically, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write what I always write. I'm going to write my name in here. Actually, I'm going to write reward, cash reward for return. Hopefully that will inspire someone to return it to me. I don't really talk while I write. It takes too much concentration. And then I will put my phone number and my email address on there later. But since I don't want everyone and their brother calling and emailing me, I'm not going to do that right now. So, first things first is I know there's things that I want to use. I'm going to be watching quite a lot of documentaries that are health related, and I'll be taking notes on them. Now, let me tell you, I'm the world's worst speller, and I don't care. This is my notebook, and I'll spell it the way I please, so don't judge me. I will spell it correctly, of course, if I were sending it to someone, but this is mine, and I want to get the information. The information is more important to me than spelling it correctly, so I will spell it correctly later, at a later date. Right now, this is note-taking, and I refuse to judge myself on that. So, documentaries. And then I'm going to pick a color for documentaries. Now what I do, and I know a lot of people have seen this, but I'm going to show you an example here. If you can see that from up above, you can see the edges have different colors on them. And that is so you can find a subject rather quickly that's related to that color. So I don't know who takes credit for that, but I've been doing it since high school. But I'm sure someone else refined that much better than me and my friends did. Anyway, so the first one's going to be documentaries, and I don't know about you guys, but I really love a good documentary. I feel like, and then one thing I do afterwards is I always go in and I look at the research that they did for it, and I read the research findings and everything. I always double check them because I don't like to just take things for their word. I'm a doubting Thomas for sure. But so I'm going to give documentaries the color blue. And so you just take the page and you just draw a line along the edge right there. Like that. Very simple. Try to be neat about it if neatness counts to you. It doesn't always count to me. I don't know. to me, I just like to get the information down. To me, that's most important. But so now whenever I'm watching a documentary, and usually what I do for documentaries is I do a mind cluster, I think they're called. Is that what they're called? A cluster? But you draw like your topic here, and then you have your side topics out there, and you take little notes like that. And I like to take up 2 whole pages. Some people take up 1 page, but I usually take up 2. And this is a brand new notebook, so I can't show you exactly what it is that I do, and I wouldn't show you anyway because I'm a very private person, and just the idea of showing it, it kind of makes me panic a little bit. So that is what I do though. And let's see, I think I saw somebody recently that showed a really good example of that. I don't remember who it was. If I think of it, I will link one below, but I'm sure if you look at Mind Cluster or Bubble Thought, I don't know. I'm sure YouTube's got dozens and dozens of videos on it, so if you want to see a really good example, I would definitely search there for it. But so for documentaries, that's what I do though, is I'll do like a little circle, the topic of the documentary, where I saw it, where it was, and then all the subjects that are on there and the things that are interesting. And that way I can get a lot of information down without having to write out each and everything. And I can keep up with the documentary pretty well that way. So most of these documentaries are gonna have those clusters there. So that's how I'll do that one. The other thing that I'm going to use, let's see, what else am I going to do? I'm going to talk about, I'm going to write down like my current health things that I'm working on. So, current health. Okay, so I've been struggling with things for several years now, and I want to get like on top of it. So my current health, I'm going to do green. And so if you see here, I'm skipping a line, and I'm doing that on purpose. But I'm going to put that green one right here. All right. So whenever I do like a documentary, or maybe I'll read a study online or something, have a doctor's appointment or something, and I find out something new about my own health, or I find something that relates to my own health, then I will mark it with the green. And some pages might have several colors on them. But the reason why I'm skipping a line is so that on the next page, because the table of contents is 2 pages, I will go between the lines and the colors will be right between. So then I'll be able to use all that space with my colors, and it'll end up working out for me. I hope that made sense to you. If it didn't, ask me in the comments below and I'll try to explain it a little bit better. But so the next subject, let's see, I got current health, documentaries, current health, case studies. I don't know why I can't write and talk at the same time, but I can't. All right, so case studies are going to be yellow. So I would just continue doing this for each and every one. And also, let's see. Oh yeah. Now I don't like to take YouTube as an absolute source of fact, because a lot of things are just people's opinions and not necessarily factual. So there are YouTubers though that I follow because I feel like they have done the work, they've studied it, or some of them are even doctors and they know what they're talking about. So those ones have more credibility to me, and I will take what they say with, they have more clout, I guess. But I always research them anyway and try to find where they got their information from. And oftentimes I'll even message them and ask them the study that they quoted if they could give it to me, and most of the time they do, so that's great. But I'm going to put on here YouTubers, because we all use YouTube nowadays. But back in my day, all I had was a library. We didn't have the internet. Okay, so YouTube. So this is going to be kind of like sources for information, and kind of like the gateway to information, I suppose. So YouTube's going to be pink. I would have made it red, but I don't have red, so. And then other sources. All right, so I would just keep going on and on and on, basically, and we'll do orange for sources. There. So that is how I would color code it, and then by the time I'm done with this notebook, all these edges will have colors on them, and they'll be kind of spotted throughout because each page won't have the same colors. And I might add more colors to it depending on how far down I go. And I guess there's 3 pages here, but that's okay. So that's how I would set that part up, and that's what I would do. The back here, the back envelope I never use, but it's there if I wanted to slip something in. And I do pen tests on the back page just to see how the paper handles certain things. But literally that's all I do to set it up. It's dead easy. Anyone can do it. It'll help me a lot when I'm trying to learn more information. I have several of these actually. I have one for each subject that I'm interested in, and I don't know. I found that it works really well for me, and I enjoy doing it. And that's it. That's literally all there is to it. So, and I don't know who to give credit for this system, but I'm sure it was someone brilliant. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I know it was really basic, but maybe it will help one of you, and if that's the case, then it was worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments below if you've done this system before. And you have a video up on it, why don't you leave the link to your video in a comment below, because I'm sure people would love to see more examples of it. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.